Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm John and we are playing Lords of the Fallen. We are kind of on a little bit of a streak here, meaning I think I've played 5 straight episodes of Lords of the Fallen. So that's a little streak. We killed a boss. Killed 2 bosses the last 2 episodes. Pretty cool. Now what we're going to do is I made a to-do list, sort of. Let me take a look at it here. So it's, let's see, at least I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Oh boy. I could have swore I did. I must have sent it to somebody else. Probably not. Alright, so there are a couple of things that I wanted to do, if I remember right. One of them is to go to the manse of the Brotherhood, or something like that. The other one was to check something. You know, this is really weird how I don't have the thing that okay, so what I did was I wrote an email and I sent it to myself with the to-do list. So let's see if I threw it out, because I have been known to do that. Oh yeah. So we'll take a look here and see if I can find something. Oh yeah, here we go. Here it is in my trash. All right, so we want to go to the manse. We want to check that we've cleansed the beacon in Upper Calrath, and we want to make sure we have the thief key. Thief. Let's see if we have the thief key. That's probably. Is there like key items or something? Quest, upgrade material, yeah, this. Thief key. Alright, we have the thief key. So evidently that is the next area that we need to go to. Which we'll go there in due time. In the meantime, I'm going to folder this message back into my inbox. And not delete it like an idiot, like a fucking idiot. So, I hope you guys are having a good day today. Today is Monday. And normally, I'm kind of like, man, it's fucking Monday. But you know what? Today's been a good day. The items that I had to do at the office, I was able to do without issue. And what happens then is I feel accomplished. I feel like I accomplished something today besides just run on the hamster mill, right? We have a couple of houses we're going to be looking at this week, which is pretty fun. If we figure out that we like one of them, well, hell, we'll be moving. And I am going to do a video on my setup. Not that this setup is good, per se, but it's what I figured out that has worked so far for me. And I think, depends on how things go this week, but there might be one of these places we look at that is going to be pretty close to what we want. And that's all my wife and I want, is something that's close. Because if it's close and it's within a certain price range, then we can live there and then do the remodeling around it. We also have the option to stay where we are, buy something else, one of those places, do the remodeling if it's extensive, and then move in after. It's a little more difficult, right? Because you you would hope, or you would like to have, if you currently live somewhere and you're going to move somewhere else and you're not rich, you have millions and zillions of dollars, you hope to be able to sell what you have and then put it down on the house you're buying. Okay, so say your house is worth, I don't know, $50,000. Okay. I'm being facetious, of course, because $50,000 is pretty low for a house. However, say your house costs $50,000 and it's paid off. So you go to buy a house. You are making a little bit more money than you were. So you find a house that you like and it costs $100,000. Well, you would like to make that house cost 50 and not 100 by selling yours, right? Just basic, I don't know what that's called, math, if you will. So if I were to sell this first, the house we're in, before I buy the next house, since this house is paid off, I can take all that cash and put it down in the other house, and the total cost of that house is reduced by that amount of money, right? Simple math. I have a house that's worth $50,000. I pay that house off. I buy one that's $100,000. I take the $50,000 and I put it right on top of that house. Now that house only cost me $50,000, not $100,000. I mean, in essence, it costs you $100,000, but you have the cash in hand. So we can do it both ways. It's going to be really interesting to see if these two tick off the right boxes, right? Because what you do, and I hope you guys do this for fucking everything, and really I should make this a touching on topics. I should. Is when you have a decision to make, whatever decision that decision is, right? Say you're voting for local stuff, or maybe you're voting for the next president, or maybe you're buying a house. What you do, because you guys are smart people, if you're watching my channel, you guys need to be smart. You need to be smart. You need to have common sense. You need to have wherewithal. You need to be smart. Okay? Okay, we're smart. That means no judging. That means you take things and you analyze them logically. Okay? Okay, for instance, you're going to buy a house that costs double what yours is. Can you afford that? Yes or no? Can you make those payments? Is this house really worth it? Here we go, right? Here we go. You make your list. You go through the house. Before you go through the house, you have your list. It may be a mental list. It may be a physical list. Things that are good about the house that you think that you want. Things that are not things that you want. You want to have a house by the river. That's a major bonus because maybe you run on the trails. You want a house that has a really good area in the basement that you can make one of these fucking things where you can have a recording studio or whatever like that. Right? You associate value to that. Everyone associates value to the things that they want, whether or not they're conscious of it or not. But what I want for my guys, for my peeps watching my show, my videos, you guys, What I want from you is to make that realistic. Okay? Don't do it and put value on something to just do it. Here's an example. What does that mean? Well, I'm a Republican, so I'm going to vote Republican. What if he's an axe murderer? That may be a little extreme, but maybe not really. Okay, I understand not voting for the other dudes, right? There's usually a Democrat and a Republican main for president, and then there's some other dudes that you know have no chance to win. Okay. Bear with me here. You're Republican. So you sort of like that. You sort of lean that way. You sort of lean that way. You sort of like their ideals. You do not label yourself as Democrat or Republican. Because why the fuck do we have to label ourselves as anything? Just be and use your brain. Because you're on my channel. You are smart. Okay? So say there's somebody who is running for president in the Democratic Party. There's somebody running for president in the Republican Party. There's somebody else running for president in one of the I'm not going to win, but I'm running anyway party. Okay? Because you always have that. You make your list. What do I want to see in the next president? What has the last president done that I didn't like? What has the one before that done that I did like? Then you make your list. An unbiased list. No, you don't mark anybody Republican, Democrat, third party, or whatever that thing's called. You don't do that. You don't. Don't. Just don't. Don't do it. Because nobody needs to be judged like that. I am not voting Democrat just because I've always voted Democrat, or my family is Democratic, or the other way around. Why would I do that? I am my own person. I am my own individual. I have values. I have things I believe in. If they line up to a Republican president, great. If they line up to a Democratic president, yes, fine. But it needs to. Something needs to happen there. And guess what? If I go through the list, the Democrat, the Republican, my list, and I match it up with what they believe in and what they're planning on doing with all of the rigmarole and all the propaganda and all that other bullshit, and I get to the nitty-gritty of it, because I do, guys, it's important to vote. It's important to vote. It's important to analyze that, because it is something in your life that it is a gift. It's not a gift. It's a right. It is something that we have as Americans that a lot of other countries don't have. They can't do that. Okay? Don't take our shit for granted, even though it's so easy to do it. We had COVID. What did the government do? Gave us free money. What government fucking does that? I'm just saying. Okay, you make your list. Okay, here's the Democratic candidate, here's the Republican candidate. I don't like that they're putting themselves with labels, but you know what? I can't do anything about that. John says nobody needs to be labeled. I'm John. But he can't help it either. So these guys are going to say I'm the Democrat. This other guy's going to say I'm the Republican or woman, whatever. All right. I list off those good things. I list off those bad things from the blue. I'd do it again from the red. They both suck. They both suck. Like bad. Suck. Like bad. Like I cannot find a clear winner using my lists. I can't. So I look at this third party dude. Man. All right. So here's what you're thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. I don't know in my lifetime if that third party vote ever won anything. Okay? I don't know that. I'm 51, and I don't think if you were not the leading candidate, Democrat or Republican, I don't think anybody else has ever even won. And in fact, I'm almost 100% sure of that, although I'm not sure of that because I'm not political at all. I don't know anything about fucking politics. Nothing. But I'll have you know, if I read my lists and both those candidates sucks, I'm not voting for them. I'm not. No, it's my right. I have this privilege by being an American and being somebody of my own free will that can make decisions that is smart. You guys watching my shit, you're smart. You listen to this, you know this already. You know all this already. Because you're my peeps. Okay? Do you not vote at all? No. No, you go to them fucking polls and you vote. You just need to do more research now. Democrat, Republican, suck. Can't vote for them. That guy's an axe murderer. That guy's a thief. Whatever. That other dude, maybe he's the right one. Maybe somebody else. But you vote. And you vote for all of the other things that are happening too. You just do it. Because there aren't many things like that. That you get. You can change the way things happen. So here's an example. I'm not political at all, but I have friends who fucking love politics, who can argue all day about this and that and the other thing. And one of the great times I have is going to a bar with one of them and trying to stir shit up. Because it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. I know what they like. I know what they're doing. So I just push the right buttons. Because you know what? It's going to explode and I'm going to get a really, really nice, fun reaction. Grab the popcorn. Because it's not that deep, boo. You have to look at it like that. You have to look at it in such a fashion as to say, how is this lining up with how I think, with how our family, what our family believes in, what would help us, what would help the country in the long term, okay? It's the same thing for anything else. It's the same thing for when you're buying a house. You have 3 houses to choose from. You write down the good and the bad. So how is that any different? It's really not. It's a decision you need to make and that you need to analyze. You need to analyze that decision and come out with an answer. Right? Maybe you don't at all. Maybe you don't like the Democratic representative. You don't like the Republican one. You don't like any of the third party ones or whatever they're fucking called. So you don't vote for president that year. But you know what? You go to the polls because the other ones matter. Look, that's a worst case scenario, man. That's a worst case scenario. I doubt you'll ever be in that situation, but you might. You might. Everybody is different. And you know, that's the great thing about living in America, man. You get to make your own decision. So do not be a lemming. Don't be a lemming. Think for yourself. What would benefit me, my family, the country the most? Right? What house will I pick out to buy that will benefit my family and me the most? How much does it cost? Can I afford it? Do I want a studio in the basement? Do I want a workout area? Do I want Do I have that, like, not far enough out? Oh no, I do. I thought maybe I had the green screen up, not far enough away from the wall. Anyway, guys, you know what I'm talking about. Because you're my peeps, man. You and me, you guys. Yeah. And this wonderful hazy IPA. Oh my goodness. You know what I could really use? Some like sliders. Little burgers. So good. From somewhere. Not White Castle or anything like that, even though there is a time and place for White Castle. Alright guys, this got a bit off topic here, so we are actually going to turn this into a touching on topics. We're going to call this, I don't know what we're going to call this, using your brain, making the correct choice, and how to go about it. Okay, so my idea that I've been talking about this entire time about making lists, associating values to certain things, like buying a house. Okay, well, you know, it's right next to a path, next to a river. Well, I really like to trail run, so that's really good. Okay, so that might be an 8, a 7 out of 10 on my evaluation scale. Whereas the kitchen having a hood is a 5 out of 10, right? It's more valuable to me to have that trail right there than it is to have a hood in the kitchen. Basically, that's what that means. 2 points higher. Okay, so you can use this idea and I don't know what you want to call it, a way of analyzing things. And I mean, you guys can do this on a daily basis, right? Say you sign up for internet access with some ISP and they want to charge you $89 a month. You're like, oh, fuck no. $89 a month? That's a lot of money. Right? Well, is it really a lot of money? Did you look at the other ISPs? Did you look at the speed? Did you look at the latency that you get? Maybe it's fiber. Do you need that? Is that going to help you? See all these things? All these things before you make your snap judgment. I mean, we all do it. We all make the snap judgment. I'll go and, I want to buy a shirt. I had a jacket shirt that I just bought. I'll look at that thing. They want $200 for that. Fuck no, I'm not going to get that for fucking $200. $200 is a fuck ton of money, man. And then I look at it. Oh my God. It looks so cool. It's got like like this lining in it that's different colors that contrasts the outside really well. It would go really well with some other things that I have, right? Well, wait a minute. $200 isn't really as much now because I found these things. So I make my snap judgment, right? And then I back off. I make my snap judgment and then I back off. Make my snap judgment and then I analyze. It should be the other way around, but not always. I really try hard to not judge anything until I have the facts. It's really hard. And you know what though? I'm 51 now. When I was in my 20s, there was no way. I would make a snap judgment and not think anything else of it. Not even anything. It was just superficial. Boom, decision made, done. I'd like to think that as the years went by, I matured, and that's why I'm doing the things that I'm doing and thinking the way that I'm thinking. I'd like to think that, but I still do make snap judgments, man, about everything, about people, about things I shouldn't. I shouldn't do that about people. No, that's the worst one. You have no idea what people are going through. You have no idea what happened during their day, right? It's hard though, man. It's hard. When you're on the road with somebody and somebody cuts you off, right? You're like, oh, you motherfucker. You motherfucking mutt, right? Right? Maybe that guy just lost their parents. Maybe that guy just, had an argument with a coworker. Maybe he lost his job. Maybe everything is just fine. He just wants to be an asshole. But how do you know? You don't. You don't know what's gone through their mind. You don't know what their life is like. It could be like way worse than your life, right? And that's another thing. You could think that you're not having a very good go of things, like in your life. And then you go and you look at other countries and you look how they're living and you're like, or even in the States, other people. It's like, man, I don't have it that bad. It brings everything into focus. It brings everything into focus. You guys, my peeps, we are going to use these tools, these decision-making tools, to better everything. To better everything. We're not a Democrat. We're not Republican. Just because I vote more Democrat than I do Republican doesn't mean I'm a Democrat. No, I'm John. I am not labeled. Don't fucking label me, man. No. Even something like that, okay? Even something as trivial as Democrat and Republican. What does that mean to me? That means I'm always going to vote that way. I'm always going to be that way. No. But they always have to have these buckets to put people in. To put everything in. Oh, well, you're a millennial. You're a Gen Zer. You're a Gen Xer. You're a Gen Yer. You're a baby boomer. Fucking stop, man. Stop. Stop labeling us as shit like that, man. I am not like that. So can you put me in a box? No, because I may or may not be like the others in the box. So it's fruitless. It isn't just fruitless. The argument doesn't fucking matter. It's just words. Because if you're like, oh my God, the Democrats did this, the Republicans did this, guess what? There are good and bad in both of them. So you can't really do that. You can't. I don't know. Am I the first person saying this? I fucking hope not. Jesus. You guys are watching this to watch some Lords of the Fallen, and guess what happened? Derailed. Got on my soapbox, started getting a little heated with the decision-making process. You know why? You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I see it all the time. I see people not doing this. I see people voting Republican across the board. Doesn't matter to me. I'm a Republican. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's an ex-murderer. Doesn't matter. Republican. Watch the Bears. Bears suck. But I'm a Bear fan. Does that mean when the Bears play another team, I'm going to say the Bears sucked when they lose? No. We knew the Bears were going to lose. You give kudos to the team who won. You just do. Because they were better. That game, they were better. I don't know, guys. This whole thing, it's very taxing on me. It's very, it brings stress. I am not going to tell you that buying a house isn't stressful. Oh my fucking God, is it stressful? I'm not going to tell you that voting isn't stressful, because fucking A, it's stressful. But if I lay it out logically, it's way less stressful. Because I have done my homework. I have analyzed the situation. I had time to do it. I made knee-jerk reactions, but then later I went over those and realized I was wrong. Whether or not I'll say it, that's another thing. But, I mean, come on, right? I'm not perfect. You guys and me, we aren't perfect, but we strive to be better. So anyway, I hope, I don't know what the fuck this is about, but I hope you guys don't stop watching my shit because I talked about all this fucking decision making and labeling things and not labeling things and going through things and being illogical and all this stuff. You know? I mean, having knee-jerk reactions to stuff and being young, that's part of growing up, man. It's part of growing up. It's part of learning what's happening. It's part of learning society, learning. Maybe you weren't brought up in such a fashion. Maybe you were brought up to think that. Maybe you were brought up in, you know, whatever. And now what's happening is your better judgment, your self, your decision making is overriding what everyone around you is telling you, right? Maybe what you have gone and analyzed is against what everyone is telling you. That is okay. That is okay. Because you know what that means? You used your brain. You figured that out on your own. And that is your decision. And guess what? We live in America and we can do that. And that is like something that another thing that we have. So many other countries don't. No one knows them. No one knows the population of them. No one knows anybody there. They're just numbers. It's really, really unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Can you fix everything? No. But you know what? We can stay here. We can think about things. We can do what we think is right. We can analyze things based on how it's going to affect us, how it's going to affect our family, significant others, the country, and we can act accordingly. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you soon.